Today is Monday, the 2nd of February, which means that it's the first trading day of the week, first trading day of the month. And for me, I ended up taking one trade across my four express accounts that was a win at the end of the day, but unfortunately, I got edged the living shit out of. I literally had 2 seconds of drawdown entering the trade just for me to take some partials and then get stopped out to the exact tick at break even for the trade to then run straight to full take profit. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you, I'm going to be telling you how I am up $625 on that day. So let's get into it. Unfortunately, this is the second time posting this or making this video because the first time I didn't have enough storage on my Mac, so I just deleted a bunch of files. So fingers crossed that I'll have enough storage this time. Don't mind that. I literally just tried to turn on my microphone, but unfortunately, it's out of battery. Like everything that could go wrong is going wrong right now. But as you can see on the screen, I got edged the living shit out of. I literally had zero drawdown entering the trade just to get plopped out at break even for price to absolutely destroy the upside. So am I really annoyed that this happened? No. I'm very comfortable that this happened because entering the trade, I had all of the conviction in the world. As soon as I moved my stop loss to break even, it was the trade's job to do what it wanted to do. I couldn't do anything about it. I entered this trade risking $200. Should I have been risking $250? Normally I would be, but I was not 100% confident with this trade due to there being a lot of wicks last Friday holding up this part of the range. But regardless, I did everything I needed to do. I sat on my hands waiting for conviction. I sat on my hands being patient. I stayed disciplined. I had one idea. I executed on it. I executed on that idea to perfection. I can't remove the fact that price decided to stop me out at break even. I cannot do shit about that. That's the market's job. So I'm up $156 across 4 accounts. This account sadly is still down 1.4k. I'm going to be full porting NFP on it later on Friday, so that'll be some good content. But anyway, let's get into the trade, man. And let's get into the markets as a whole, because me, as well as a lot of other people, were pretty confused probably entering the markets, seeing that price moved so viciously towards the upside with very little signs of it going to do so. So jumping straight in, last week, what happened last week? We generated liquidity the whole of Monday and Tuesday as anticipated. Monday was a no news Monday. You can expect a continuation or just a liquidity generational day. On Tuesday, it was pre-FOMC. What can you expect pre-FOMC to do? You can expect to accumulate orders in the market and generate liquidity, aka another continuation day. Look at that. I'm not saying that because it did that on the markets, but look, Monday, straight continuation. Tuesday, straight continuation. Both days are just engineering sell-side liquidity. Wednesday, dotted around at the top. It was FOMC, didn't have too much volume in the markets. Thursday comes along, sweeps everyone out. Friday comes along, continuation model to the downside. Now, opening up this week, we took previous week's low straight away. We took previous week's low. So is there really any justification or anything to say about the price action pre to New York? Not really. We just need to understand what could possibly come from it. So marking out our draws on liquidity for the day, we're going to mark out our session highs and lows. So on the charts, session highs and lows look like this. We had Asia high resting up here with the top of the opening gap range. We had a bullish opening gap range. We had London low below. And I don't actually think we had any SMCs holding below. I do stand to be corrected, but at the end of the day, I was pretty firm with price being bearish in a way, but at the same time, I was pretty wary because we did have draws either side. Being, if we were to bearish price action, there's a lot of internal low resistance liquidity aligned with London low, aligned with January's low, and aligned with December's low. But internally to the upside, we also had a lot of internal low resistance liquidity here and two high time frame for our targets here. So look, I didn't have a bias going into the morning. I just took what was given. I just reacted to what was shown. As soon as market opened, we saw an absolute rancid spurt to the upside, taking out Asia high. And as soon as price takes out Asia high, you can just expect we have got so much fucking liquidity resting up here. We're definitely going to go there. We've got a New York AM here. We've got previous day high here. We're definitely going to go to the upside. So it's just dependent on whether you can get an entry. And in this market, do you want to be forcing an entry? Absolutely not, because you'll get gobsmacked by the amount of times you'll get manipulated. You will think you found the most perfect opportunity to buy, and then you will get slapped in the face, and then all the emotions start flowing in because it was probably a loss you could have avoided. So, me being me, I was sat on the charts for almost 3 hours today. No joke. My DJI was recording from market open to when I got off the markets. It was recording for 140 minutes. I was waiting for a trade for almost 2 hours. So anyway, price legs up. Bang. I was kind of looking for some kind of reaction in this area because there's a 15-minute for value gap right. There's a big 15-minute for value gap right there. I think it looked like price ended up not tapping into it, but then we ran to the upside again. Now, as soon as I understood that price was very likely going to reach for all of these draws of low resistance liquidity and eventually get to New York AM's high from Friday and previous day high, I just drew them out because that's the only way that I'm going to get a trade. The only way I'm going to get a trade is in aligning some built up liquidity, aka internal, with external draws and liquidity being New York AM high or previous day high. So 5-minute chart. So looking at Friday's price action, I did happen to trade this range. I understood looking at these charts that you are going to get absolutely spun around like a washing machine. No joke. You will get spun around in a washing machine if you try and long off a very low confluence, very low amounts of manipulation to New York AM high. You can see how much price was dibble-dabbling around in this range. You can expect the exact same to be done in this range when it retraces up to the same area. So, anticipating that, I stayed firm with my judgment. I was not looking for shorts at all in this range. I was only looking for longs. I knew what I wanted to see, and that was it. If my theses didn't play out, if the markets ended up running all the way down here, I would not have entered this trade. But I stayed diligent. I stayed confident. I drew out 50% of this range. Many people would see this 15-minute for value gap and maybe enter in here, maybe enter in here, maybe enter in here, maybe enter in here, maybe enter in here. I waited for the last possible entry. Bro, after tapping this 15-minute for value gap originally, we spent 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. We spent 40 minutes dibble-dabbling around this 15-minute for value gap because price was held up at these 15-minute consolidation boxes. I waited for the most optimal entry. I waited for price to retrace into equilibrium of the range. I also waited for price to create a new 30-minute for value gap. I ended up waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting my ass off for all of these flipping manipulation legs to come into the market. I outweighted everybody, and that's how I got such a great trade in today. Whether I got broke even on one of my positions and won the other, having the win only being 156 bucks, it doesn't matter. I outweighted everyone. I stayed patient and I did all I could. I waited for price to retrace into the 30-minute for value gap. I waited for price to retrace all the way down to equilibrium. I waited for 1 hour and 43 minutes on the charts without taking a trade before I got into one. So, understanding that internal draws on liquidity, right here, this buy side internally aligns with my external draws on liquidity. I ended up entering this trade after the 1 minute CISD was confirmed. I entered right here. I entered with lower risk than usual because I wasn't so confident in this price shooting all the way up to the upside. Originally, I stepped into the markets with the anticipation to hold every single contract until this high. It was literally all or break even. But price presented itself at this point to unfortunately fuck around a lot, which made me second guess my first initial intentions. I ended up taking 2 of my 3 contracts off at this internal high, securing me that winning day. So if price did end up, unfortunately, tapping me at a break even just to run all the way up to full day profit, I still would be up on the day. So that's it, man. Today was an absolutely fucking phenomenal day for me. Whether the profits are high or whether they were low, I did every single thing that I could on the market. So I'm very happy with myself. Still need to journal this trade, but I'm going to get this YouTube video posted soon, hopefully. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, but more so if you learned anything from this video, comment down below what it was. I hope your trading went well today, and I will see you again tomorrow.